I don't know about you, but I've had a shit ass of a day. So I've come to play in the garage. Well, sit in the garage and look at my bike while I stare out at the rain. But ho hum, while we're out here, let's do a little video. So it's Monday. It's raining. I've had a day off. I've not done a lot. But I want to talk to you a little bit about European bike trips if you're in the UK. I mean, if you're in America, then this probably isn't going to affect you at all. But if you're in the UK and you're thinking about doing a bike trip in Europe, stay tuned. We'll talk about it. Right then, this is a little guide about how to go about your European bike trip. Might be helpful if you've never done one. I'm getting close to the point where I've done double digits in European bike trips. Ooh, look at me. So I know a little bit. There's a few things you have to do. So first on my list, if you're in the UK, is make sure you have plenty of time on your passport. They're starting to make sure you have to have 3 or 6 months left on your passport for you to travel into Europe. Since Brexit, cheers Boris. Make sure you've got plenty of time on your passport. Update it before if you need to. Secondly is book your ferry tickets well in advance if you can. Much cheaper. If you leave them late, much more expensive. Book your ferry tickets, generally Dover, Calais, Portsmouth, Le Havre, wherever you're going to go. Wherever your destination is in Europe or where you're going to be riding from. Make sure you book those tickets well in advance before the price goes up, because everything's going up. Also, make sure your motorcycle has an MOT. Talking from experience, you will still be able to travel, but it is a little bit embarrassing when you get to the port with your expensive bit of kit and the police say we're doing random checks on MOTs today, and your bike ran out the week before, you thinking you have plenty of time left. It comes at a cost, but you will still be able to travel. Just make sure all your paperwork's up together, tax, insurance, MOT, all that good stuff. Make sure your motorcycle insurance covers you for European travel. Some of it comes with European breakdown. If not, make sure you get European breakdown. From experience, not mine personally, but my dad's had an issue in France. It cost him a lot of money just to get to the nearest dealership for a new battery, let alone the regulator rectifier that he then later had to have. Make sure you've got breakdown cover. I would also advise getting a personal European insurance, not motorcycle insurance, just personal, just because it's cheap and it's worth having. And your bike insurance might cover it, but for the sake of a tenner or whatever it is, get the personal insurance cover and hope you never have to use it. Okay, when you get to mainland Europe, you've got 2 options. You can have a destination in mind, planned your route, booked your hotels along the way and your final destination, or you might just be going somewhere, staying there, riding out each day from there, or you might be traveling around each day. So you can plan all that in advance, which I've done, or you can get off the ferry, decide where it looks sunny and head that way and find somewhere you get there. For me, that's a lot more fun, but there is also a chance you could end up sleeping under your bike. It's really easy now, smartphones, internet, you can booking.com, get a hotel anywhere you want, ride to it. Piece of piss, no excuse for having to sleep under your bike. But it's up to you. It's up to you. While in mainland Europe, there are a few requirements, especially in France. I know very well. You must ride with gloves, and you must carry, if you have a halogen bulb, spare bulbs for your lights and indicators. And you're supposed to carry a high-vis vest. Supposed to. Have one buried at the bottom of your bag if you want to. I've never been asked, but it doesn't mean they won't. I can't remember if it's a requirement or not. They were talking about having to carry a breathalyzer with you just so if the police pull you over, you can produce your own breathalyzer. I don't know. I think they think we're drunk hooligans. Not me, I don't drink. I'm a good boy, well behaved. But yeah, that's some of the requirements for France. Okay, so stuff to take with you. So you're going to take a bag if you're doing more than one day. So you can take all of your clothes, roll them up and fold them all nicely. Roll them up and get more in. You're also going to want to take some tech with you, I'd imagine. Even if you don't make videos, you're going to want to take your phone and a camera and possibly get them all separately in a pouch in the back end of your bag. Don't have them strewn all over your bag with bits of cable and charging cable and wire everywhere. Put them in a wash bag on their own, safe to one side. You know, you can just go straight for them. Make sure you take a battery pack, because it's not always easy to charge your phone and things like that. Sometimes, especially in the hotels, the chargers can be across the plugs can be across the room. And if you're like me and you like to scroll through social media until your phone hits you in the face in the middle of the night, you need to have a power pack so you can charge your phone without having to. You can do the rest in the morning across the room, but if you want to use your phone at night, sometimes you need a power pack, and sometimes it's just easy just to lay in bed with a power pack and watch a film and fall asleep. Because when you go abroad, unsurprisingly, if you get a room with a TV in it, oh, fuck knows what they're saying. I can say hello and goodbye and thank you, but barring that, lost. Friends in French is shit. But yeah, that's another little gem. Make sure you have a little personal power pack. Okay, so money-wise now, almost everything's on card. I wouldn't bother changing too much money up. I used to, when I first started, I used to change 500 or 600 quid into euros, and just all on cash. But most places, even here, but since COVID out there, definitely want you to pay on card or contactless. So I would change up the bare minimum. Unless you're going to like a bike show or a bike event, bike rally in a field, make sure you have cash, because very few of them have card. But if you're just riding around the cities and you're doing like a little touring visit, just do it all on your card. It's much easier. Also, keep a credit card for emergencies. If you don't have breakdown cover, or if you get stuck in the middle of nowhere, or you're stuck for accommodation, always keep just a little handy credit card with some money on. Just for peace of mind, really. It's worth doing. It's easy. Coming towards the end now. So one of my last bits of advice, if it's your first trip and you're going with a group or on your own, don't go mad. Don't overstretch yourself. Don't try and ride too far. Have manageable riding distances. Build up your tolerance for days in the seat, especially if you don't ride that much. If you ride all the time, then different. But if you're going with the boys and you ride for a couple of hours at most each day at home, or, you know, through the summer, make sure you're not scheduling yourself in 6-7 hour days on the bike. If you can do it, awesome. But don't put too much pressure on yourself to do ridiculous rides. Just do steady rides on easy rides and roads you know, and stick to the speed limits. I've been with all sorts of riders, and some like to fucking hammer on and go and do fucking all day without stopping, fucking pegs up at 9 and fucking not getting to where you go until 6 and you've travelled halfway across Europe. Or you can do easy days where you do 75 miles and it takes 3 hours, but it's cool and you go through countryside and the windy lanes. I know which one I'd rather. Just go steady, ride your own ride. Don't try and keep up with anybody. Don't try and do anything flash. Just have fun. You're there. If you're riding in Europe, if you live in the UK and you're riding in Europe, unless you've got a specific task, you're there for fun. Have fun. Relax. Chill. Be happy. And last but by no means least, it doesn't matter what time of year you go, take rain gear. It doesn't matter where you go or what time of year, always pack the waterproofs. Because at one point or another, you will get piss wet through. Whether it's on this side of the water or the other side, it's going to rain. Take your fucking waterproofs. And that's it. That's it for this little video. A little quick guide on what you need, what you're going to likely to need, and what to do for your first Euro trip. I can't wait to go on the next. I think my next one is Italy next year, which I'm looking forward to. hopefully we get some new parts soon, get fitting. But it's cheered me up. Like I say, I had a cunt of a day. Tomorrow's a new day. Take it steady, people.